Does it ever feel like you're a marketing professional just speaking into the void? Well, with LinkedIn ads, you can know you're reaching the right decision makers. You can even target buyers by job title, industry, company, seniority, skills. Wait, did I say job title yet? Get started today and see how you can avoid the void and reach the right buyers with LinkedIn ads. We'll even give you a $100 credit on your next campaign. Get started at linkedin.com/results. Terms and conditions apply.
We all belong outside. We're drawn to nature, whether it's the recorded sounds of the ocean we doze off to, or the succulents that adorn our homes. Nature makes all of our lives, well, better. Despite all this, we often go about our busy lives removed from it. But the outdoors is closer than we realize. With All Trails, you can discover trails nearby and explore confidently. With offline maps and on-trail navigation, download the free app today.
Hi guys, welcome to this week's episode of Heavy Metal Tones and me, your podcast host, Tony Evans. This is a fantastic interview I just did and completed with Lamoyne Alexander. That's Lamoyne Alexander. He is a rap producer and a musician that I had never really heard of, not being in that realm. But their PR reached out to me to have a chat because they really liked the show, which was really nice of them. And I thought, well, yeah, let's give it a chat. So I listened to his crossover albums, because now you'll say, why am I talking about rap on a heavy metal podcast? Well, because he's actually in the rock realm now, has been for a little while. He's a crossover. And what was fascinating about this conversation is just to learn how he went from one extreme to the other, and just how he went from, rap and successful movie soundtrack producer and writer of music soundtracks and big hip hop and rap albums, and working with some of the biggest names in that genre, to ditching that to follow his first love, which is rock and roll. And these first three albums, or the first two albums that he's produced, are amazing. The single Insecurity, which we'll talk about a bit in this episode, is brilliant. I hope that you enjoyed the chat. I really love the energy that he brought to the show, and I hope that you do go over and listen to his music, because I think you might find a treat, because I know I did. Hope you enjoy the chat. Bye for now. When Laura reached out for me to chat to you, I was like, wow, I'm really keen, because I love the idea of what you're doing with your musical career.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's really stunning for someone to go from one extreme to the next, it's so fluently.
Oh, wow. It was a lot that happened during my production career as a rap producer. It just killed me. I mean, it was either retire or go to a whole different sound. And I'm glad I went to rock. I mean, rock and roll was always my go-to thing anyway, and I've been doing it for years. So.
Well, okay. Well, because I mean, at least you had the outlet to be able to do that.
Yeah, I mean, I started off. For me. It was. I think I was 16 years old, while everybody was funking it out in the days of Ohio Players and everything funk. I was doing rock, Rush, Thin Lizzy, and
brilliant.
And and everybody thought I was crazy, but I kept saying this is the music that I want to be in, that's going to last long. Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, rock and roll is 70 years old now, right?
Yeah.
And it's still going strong. Yeah. I mean, I went into rap. I dabbled very, very lightly into rap myself, but mainly early stuff. So I was really into Grandmaster Flash and African Bombata and all that, really early stuff.
Yeah,
Beastie Boys. Yeah, I love that, because it had a crossover, rock and roll crossover, didn't it? There was a sort of rock edge to it.
Run DMC, Walk This Way.
Exactly right. Yeah, I mean, I loved it when that came out. That blew my mind. Right. I remember.
one.
Yeah. Oh, I
They
saw
really,
Public. Yeah, I saw Public Enemy um with Aerosmith once as well, which was
yeah,
absolutely crazy, right?
yeah, and I was proud that they went into a whole different genre. They started a group. I think it was called Prophets of Rage,
Yeah.
and that kicked it off too. I mean, man, oh wow, these groups with this rock edge that just took me. I was done. I just all I wanted to do.
Yeah. And if you think about it now, even in the heavy metal or heavy rock area, there's a lot of what we call new metal, which is basically rap and that sort of underground New York sound with rock and roll attached to it.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. Right. So it's not, so I mean, it's not unusual to hear it, right?
That's right. It's
Yeah.
not here
No.
in America. That's like a rage against what's the name of the band? A
Rage
rage
Against the Machine.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a big band. Prophets of Rage, Linkin Park, Limp Bizkit. All these
Yep.
these bands are infusing rap with rock,
Yeah. Yeah.
and they're changing the direction, and that's a beautiful thing because
I
you
think
can
it
actually
is.
gel those two together and create something really fantastic. And I love that.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I went back into it.
Yeah, growth in music, right? If we all listened to the same thing, it'd be really boring. If it was the same thing for the rest of our lives, I mean, you wouldn't eat the same meal every day, would you?
That's true.
You know, you
That
want to
is
try
so.
something different and be progressive, you know?
Oh yeah. I mean, this new album that I'm working on is
Mm.
completely different than the norm. I mean, I did two albums. The first two albums was, I was experimenting, and then I went completely into rock, hard rock, and pop rock, and it's just a whole different vibe. It just captivated me to a point where I'm satisfied with the results, and I
Oh,
can't wait
brilliant.
for the album to drop. I really love this album. It's like cutting edge rock. Cutting
Brilliant.
edge.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
love the last two that you did.
Thank you.
I thought,
Thank
I
you.
mean, I went and listened to them, and some of the guitar on it, mate. You're a talented guitarist, man.
Thank
Like
you.
the solos on that just are so crisp.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of that stuff I did one take, one take guitar solos. I was just in the moment and I just let it rip. I didn't even bother to edit anything. I just played.
Wow.
To,
Had a real
yeah.
feel of had a real feel of Prince. You know, when Prince played solos, has a real sort of Prince vibe to them.
Oh,
In
yeah.
there, yeah. Like, because I remember seeing Prince and thinking, no, you know, he's not a guitarist. And I watched him play with, I think it was Clapton or something, and I was like slack jawed. his abilities. It was like, oh my God, this guy is so talented.
Oh yeah. He's one of my heroes. One of my
Oh man,
biggest
yeah,
heroes.
yeah. And why wouldn't he be? I mean, you know, again, all genres. He could do anything, right?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you believe. I mean, I didn't go to school for music. I don't know. It just came to me I think when I knew I was talented, I think I was in the fifth grade.
Mm.
And I picked up a guitar, and the rest is history. I taught myself how to play, and it just came out of me. Everybody thought I was like, where does this guy come from? And I'm just playing guitar. I went from playing guitar to playing bass, playing drums, then playing keyboards. And before you know it, I was singing. So,
Do you know what a great journey, man? Now you can take that always through your entire career. You can say, if someone says, "All right, I'll just play the drums," all right, I'll just step over there, no problem. You know, like you got it in you, right?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
It reminded me, yeah, it reminds me a lot. I was listening to it, and I've wrote notes here, right? There's a lot of like Grand Funk Railroad. There's like T-Rex, Bowie,
Oh, yeah.
all sorts of stuff in this albums,
I
man.
did a T-Rex cover too. Get It On. I redid. I did it for a film, but the film never came out. So I still have the track. I'm thinking
Oh, you
of
should put
putting
it on something. You should put it on something.
Yeah, no. It's a great, it's mastered and it's mixed and mastered and everything is ready to go. But it's
Oh
beautiful.
man.
I had a lot of fun doing it too.
Oh yeah, I've played it in my band. I love it. It's one of those things. It's so much fun to play because Mark, he was just brilliant, right? So yeah. So film soundtracks. So you say you were doing film soundtracks. I did read that somewhere. How did you get into that?
Got into that during the mix of my production doing rap and hip hop. I wanted to expand. And it started off with working for Oprah. I did Oprah for like 15 years. I did a lot of talk shows in America. And then I wanted to branch off and do film. And the first film that I started off with was a crime film called Crime Partners with Ice-T and Snoop Dogg.
Oh, brilliant.
And when I did that, I knew it then. I was like, this is where I want to be. And I did a couple of more films after that, and then more films. And before you know it, I wanted to be part of, I was doing the actual score, but I wanted to be part of the soundtrack. So there's a couple of films that my songs are in the soundtrack. And
Brilliant.
One particular one was the Bohemian Rhapsody. I was working on a song for the film, which happens to be a cover of Killer Queen.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to be on that soundtrack, never made it, but Queen accepted the song and they made it a part of their catalog.
How wonderful.
Yeah, I was really excited
Oh
about
my
that.
God. If Brian May comes in, oh yeah, good. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, that's the plaque I got for it too.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah. That was one of the biggest records that I did.
Wow, you're such a busy man. So much going on musically. I don't know how you'll fit it all in.
I try. I stay focused. It's not easy. I guarantee you, it's not easy. But I try to stay focused. Anything that I have access to the studio, so nothing can take my mind off of what I'm doing. Like right now, I'm wrapping up the third album. I'm on the last song, which is entitled Alone, which is the song I'm doing right now. And I'm preparing to do some shows and get out there and mingle with the fans and everything. And after that, I'm back in the studio cutting another album.
Oh, brilliant, man. I love that people were constantly working, just as if you become a fan of someone, it's nice that they spend time making something, but sometimes you go, when's I want another something new, bring something new out. It's been 5 years.
I enjoy it. I love it. It keeps me busy. That's one. And it
keeps you young, right?
It keeps me learning more about, what's out in the world and what I can do. I'm in my own genre now. I used to be a part of what everybody was doing. But for some reason, I established my own sound and I'm sticking with it. So, apparently my fans like it. So that's
it's
what
working.
I'm going.
It's working, man. And as long as you're enjoying it as well, if you're enjoying it, that's half the battle, isn't it? Right?
Yes, I'm enjoying it. I'm having fun. Like I said, this it keeps me busy. I'm focused. I want to get out there and mingle with the fans a little bit. But by late part of this year, I'll be back in the studio working on another album.
Mate. And I'm sure it's gonna be killer, just like the new one that's coming out. Because you got a single, Insecurity, right?
Yes.
And
this. Yeah. Go ahead.
I was going to say, but after meeting you face to face and chatting with you, your lyrics are very introspective, right? They're very deep lyrics. But I talked to you, and you're a man full of brightness and sunshine and happiness. Like it's sort of like it's interesting how you can dive into that side of your psyche to write the lyrics like that comfortably.
Well, okay. So when I wrote that song, I was really going through a really bad time in my life, and a lot of my songs are projected from personal experiences that I've endeavored. But this one, for some reason, I had the track first, and I walked into the studio, I think around about maybe 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. and I knew that, I had to write something because I was feeling it. And I felt like, okay, this is a perfect time. And I put those lyrics to that track, and it just worked. And I
Yeah.
had no clue at all because I used the song for therapy for me. I didn't
Mm.
know it was going to be therapy for everybody else. I had no idea the song was going to be, as big as it is. But I'm proud and thankful that a lot of my fans love the song and they use it as a part of their intelligence to move on and to learn from. I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to it several times now, and it just triggered me. I had a worst year of my life last year, and I put that on, and I go, and it really sort of made me feel quite introspective, but at the
Yeah,
same time uplifted.
yeah.
I wasn't like all like,
No,
it,
I know. And I didn't
yeah,
want to be like that when I wrote the song. I was like, you know what? I don't want to be all sad. I just want to just help people go through what I'm experiencing in a
yeah,
in a good, and because that's what it is. I just got finished being divorced,
oh,
and I had other free female friends that were into me that wanted to have relationships, and I knew I couldn't get into it with them. So I
yeah,
wasn't mentally or
yeah, yeah. You
no
hadn't moved on. Yeah, that's right.
socially, like at the point where I'm ready to be in a relationship was wrong. I
Mm,
knew I wasn't ready. So, and how do I project the song? I mean, project how I feel into the song. So I typically just put everything how I felt in the song.
yeah, and it comes across, man. It really does. I mean, that's just one of many brilliant songs on the last couple of albums, and I was really like Perfect World. I love the guitar solo on that, man.
Thank you, thank you. That was a very special song. That was during. I wrote that during in America when we had all this tragedies and then the COVID came and wiped
Mm,
out a lot of my friends. And
yeah.
I I got COVID during the promotional tour of that album.
Mm.
I couldn't even finish it because I was in the hospital 3 times because of COVID.
Jeez.
Yeah, and the last time my left uh, lung collapsed. Well, I was like, and so I had to write something that would, like I said, I write from experience, and I
Yeah.
wanted to give the world something special so they can be happy. A lot of my songs are not geared towards sadness, but more like learning,
Yeah, yeah,
education.
yeah. And I get that because I listened to that and it has that sort of one sense of wonder in the song because the guitar
Yeah,
solo does the same thing. It's uplifting. I
yes,
wrote that in big red letters, uplifting under there, under there. Like Elephant in the Room, things like that. Just great numbers, man. The album, both of the albums, which are out now on all streaming platforms, please, I recommend everyone going to listen to them and buying your physical copies because I know that's where the money comes these days. It's not in streaming anymore, or at all,
yeah,
is it? Um,
yeah, absolutely right.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
I'm working on the third album, and I'm going to do everything from. Oh, by the way, I'll show
yeah.
you how the new album is coming.
Oh, please, yes.
So, with the new album, we're going to be doing um, drives where you can take.
Oh,
It's kind of cool. It's different, but everybody is like, when you buy that album now, you buy it like this, and
wonderful, man.
it's a
I love
guitar.
the back of it. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah. It's going to be cool when this album comes out. Now, you're going to still get it on regular
Yeah,
platforms, even vinyl,
yeah.
but this is a cool way
That's a
to buy
fun
the
one.
album.
Yeah,
You know, it's cool. You can buy this. Everything is going to be on this, even rare rehearsals and everything is going to be on it. So when you come to the concert or if you go to my website, you can actually buy this and it'll have my album on there, some interviews, everything, and just pop it into wherever you are and you got the whole album.
Mate,
But
that's
yeah,
gold. I love that kind of stuff. For me, I love it. I'd have it. What a
it's
smart,
different.
clever move. I love it, man. That's again very much like you, innovative and forward
Yeah,
looking, you know?
I'm trying. I'm
Yeah.
trying to be in.
Yeah. But also at the same time, like some of your other, I was listening to Hollywood Boulevard.
Oh yeah, that's
Whoa,
a
what a track that is, man. That is a real sumptuous number, that one, right?
thank, thank you.
I love the bass mix in it.
Oh yeah, that was if I'm not mistaken, the first single from the first album.
Yeah, what a single to come out of the blocks on. That's a really good track.
Thank you. I appreciate that. That was fun doing too. I wrote
Yeah.
that being in on Hollywood Boulevard. I was on Hollywood Boulevard. That's how I'm gonna make a song about
Yeah, why not?
it.
Well,
And
that's the
I
way,
did
isn't
it.
it? Art is like
Yeah.
that, right? Art just comes to you when it comes, man. That's it. It's
It's
like
part of the universe.
yeah, that's part. It's it. Yeah, exactly. It's in the ether, right? Like you said, you're self-trained. I never got taught either. You know, I think sometimes the freedom of self-training, because you don't get caught up in all of the sciences behind it. You just enjoy the
Right.
sound, right?
Now, there's history. You go back. I was in my high school, I think maybe my senior year or junior year. I think it was a junior or senior year. There's a record of me being in school if I'm not mistaken, because I can't remember, that was a long time ago. Talking maybe about a month. I was in school for about a month. And my teacher she was hard to deal with. She wouldn't understand how, she couldn't understand how I was playing all of these notes, and I was playing notes that wasn't registered in her class. She was upset at me, and the way I was
Jealous.
holding the guitar was way down low because I'm a rocker. She had the
Yeah, yeah,
guitar
yeah.
up
You can't have that up
here.
here. That's right.
And, by the time grades came, she failed me. She failed me in that class and kicked me out of
Oh,
that class. An F. And I'm like looking at her now, like, see, I told you. The people that she was looking up to in her classroom that were getting all the A's, he's probably not doing it no more.
he's,
But I
he's
know that I was like, dead center in learning how to play rock. You
yeah.
couldn't teach me how to play, all of the fundamental chords that she was trying to teach me in school. I picked those up and I just gradually grew from those notes and added my own thing to it. And man, she didn't like that. She failed me for that.
Oh
I
man, I
never,
know. I've met lots of the people like that in my life. There's constant jealousy. These people. It has to be like
yeah,
this. The rule is
yeah,
this. Well, that's not the rule. Rock and roll doesn't have a rule, right? That's the whole
that's
point,
right.
right?
There's
But
nothing, rock and roll is just what it is. Rock and roll.
it's a spirit. It doesn't have a rule, right? It's like I love the
There's
blues. I'm a real
no
big
way to
blues.
play it.
Yeah,
There's no right way to play it. This is
exactly.
rock.
But that, I think that comes a lot from the blues, right? Jazz
Yes.
and blues, because there's freedom within what they do.
Yeah.
I love the blues, man. I absolutely love it, and I hear blues in your music,
Thank you.
right?
I did a couple of songs on the first album like that because of my dad. That album was completely dedicated to him, and he was a blues fan. So I wanted
Yeah,
to take some of those songs that I wrote and guide them towards him, and it worked out pretty well. As a matter of fact, what's the name of the song?
got Black
One of the
Dress.
Black Dress is one of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
Please forgive me. That was
Please
a
forgive me.
personal
Yeah,
that I did for him because I was with the band State of Grace, and he would be on me all the time, like you need to go back in the studio for yourself instead of writing and producing for everybody else. And he wasn't lying. He was really really deep into me, but I
mm,
wanted to be in the background. It was a background. Other people writing for other people. Even when I was in the band, they threw me up front to be the lead singer, and I still wanted to be in the back. So I had promised him during the tour that that I was going to go back into the studio and do my own thing. And before I could even finish the tour, he died.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So in retrospect, I felt bad about it, but when I think about it more and more, it was my feelings about going into the studio was entirely based on him. Now, once I got into the studio and started cutting all these songs for him, I felt like, this was all dedicated to him and motivated by him. So I decided to call the album Solitude, for him.
Yeah, it's wonderful album. It's a wonderful album. And I think that's him. You know what? It's lovely. It's him going, I probably know my time is coming. I don't know, but I want my son to go and do his own thing, you know? And the fact that you went and did that, he's looking over your shoulder and smiling, man. Every note you're playing, everything you put down, he's there with you, right? And so it's and so every time someone listens to this album, he's being remembered. And I think that's a lovely thing, isn't it?
This was my debut album, was his album. And I wanted the world to know that I wrote this album for him because he was my biggest fan. He loved me enough to take me off the streets and buy equipment for me, teach me how to sing, teach me how to. Most of the instruments I learned, he educated me and would sit down and listen to Eric Clapton. He would make me sit and listen to all of these artists, and I pick it up. He knew that I could pick it up, and I dedicated the whole album to him.
Bless him. That's wonderful.
I wanted it to be his album. So by the time I got to the second album, I was like, okay, now I'm on to something here. Let me experiment on some stuff. And that's how Perfect World came about.
Yeah, I think, and then the third one, which you said is about to be released, is going to be even more growth. I think that's a third album is always tricky. There's always that tricky third album, right? In everyone, that you're a producer. The tricky third album. Always. Always.
You gotta. That's the time where you got to start being creative.
Because you've had all these songs for many years before that.
Whatever worked first or the second time, it's time to do something totally different. So when I started thinking, even my management, they were like, it's time to do something else. So like I said, I just took a batch of songs and I started creating. It took me like a year to really work on this album. This was the first album that literally took me a year to do. And it just had its own legs. Before you know it, it just started growing on its own. And then when they dropped Insecurity, I had no idea the world was going to really love that song. By the time it caught on with everybody, I'm well deep into the album. Like, I don't want to do anything to replicate that. I just keep making songs.
Yeah, I think you can't chase the dream, man. Like, if you get one big hit, well, that's great. That's wonderful. That's just the moment in time. We're not the Beatles. You gotta go for it, your own art, and that's what makes these albums and people like yourself so fascinating to me. Growing up in a rough part of the world, tough life, tough young, and suddenly making this wonderful music across several genres. It's just fascinating.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, I live out my life through music. Music is like my life. It's my soundtrack to life. And, everything that I've experienced, honestly, over the last 10 years has been spread out between the last two albums and this album.
Brilliant. So, yeah. I have a question for you. I'm just thinking about this. So how do your rap fans, like your big hardcore rap fans, go when you moved across to the rock scene? Did you have a battle with them, or?
It wasn't really well received at first, because I was doing big numbers and big artists, and I just walked away from millions of dollars, $1 million clients, and I didn't want to do it anymore. It just was dead to me inside. And it got to the point where the music started sounding recycled and everybody was sampling each other, and the beats just wasn't the same no more. And so I try to infuse a little bit of real music into the rap, but even that just didn't work. Sometimes it would work, but not all the time, depending on the artist. I was like, this is not for me anymore. And I was in the studio, and the true story, I was in the studio working on Solitude, the actual song Solitude. And I had just got home, and I said, let me go downstairs, and I opened up the session, I started singing it. I said, okay. And that's how I began actually writing for myself. And I tested it out, with some regular fans, some State of Grace fans, and people in the rock area, and they were, warm reception, and it was like, yeah, I like it, it's cool, and that triggered me to keep going. And as I was going, I just progressed into making more songs. But by the time I got finished with Solitude, everybody was like, where's my rap? Where's this and that? I told them I'm done. I'm happy where I'm at. I'm sitting in my own music now. And I lost a lot of clients, which was not a problem. And people had to learn how to respect what I was doing. And, a couple of rappers was like, man, I respect you for what you're doing. It was a wise choice. And they wanted to jump on the bandwagon with me and rap on some of my songs.
No.
So, as a matter of fact, I got a song with Twister on the album too.
Oh, brilliant. Yeah.
As a matter of fact, we're planning to shoot a video for it and everything next month.
Oh, brilliant, man. Fantastic. Because the album comes out when is the album out? End of May?
Yes, the end of May. It should be wrapped up in a nice, neat package.
Yeah, that's always the hard bit. Once you've done you've put it in, you put blood, sweat, and tears for a year, then you've got to do all of the other bits, all the package bits, all the chats and the interviews and all that kind of stuff. But
I got to do all. Which is, I don't mind doing it. I did one in Germany, New Zealand. Wow. Oh, I did a lot of them, in different countries. And, this is to me is brilliant. Even in Australia. What part of Australia?
In Canberra, which is the capital.
Oh, okay. Yeah. See, this is new. So I'm loving it.
Yeah. It's great that what we can do in the world, eh? If you'd said to me 25 years ago, even 30 years ago, hey, you'll be talking to someone in America in your studio, in your house, on video, you're like, gosh, go away. What are you talking about? Stop it.
Yeah, I've done beautiful interviews with people around the country, and I'm just amazed that people love my music. I'm just happy about that, and if they want to talk, I'd be happy to talk about it.
I'm glad because, mate, honestly, putting those two albums on, I was just blown away. Like, really, really, I mean, you don't know what to expect. I didn't know what to expect, right? So I'm going, okay, I'm going to put this on. I'm going to give this a go because I don't live in the rap world. It's not something. For a very long time ago, I let go of it a long time ago, probably 1990, something like that, right? And so I was like, okay, I'll give this a go, see how this crossover goes. And I was blown away, but I wasn't expecting the kind of soulfulness, the power, the fun, and the mix.
James is a fantastic engineer and mixer. He mixes all my albums. And as a matter of fact, he's mixing this one that I'm working on right now.
You're like, well, Bez, you're onto a winner then, mate, because it's a fantastic sounding album. Like while I listened to, I mean, like I was again, Block Party is another one I really enjoyed.
Oh yeah, I did that because I grew up on doing block parties. And I used to do when I was a kid. My band, my brothers and I, we used to perform at block parties, and before we were performing as young, we were really young. I think we were about maybe 12, 13 years old.
Oh,
By the time we got on, they would always strip, the whole block would strip all of the cars, throw some music on, and everybody's dancing all on the streets.
oh, God. What a shame. We don't get that anywhere. It's such an American thing, right? It's just
Yeah.
not something you'd get. I grew up in London, man. You wouldn't have that in London. You wouldn't have it anywhere. I like the fact that you could do that there. That's just
Yeah. Fire
such a-
hydrant, break the fire hydrant, all the water comes out, and people are jumping in with no, they don't care about, swim trunks and nothing, just regular clothes, just flipping and flopping all over the streets.
Oh man, the sense of community and fun in music, like, and just that's brilliant, right? And again, that's
Yeah.
what that rap is so wonderful. The early rap for me, you know. And
That's to me. I agree
Yeah.
with you on that
Yeah.
because that's the area where I started, the earlier rap.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to like 2000, maybe 4, I was done.
Yeah.
I lost the feeling for it. But the 90s rap was awesome. That's real raw talent back in
It
those
is.
days.
And I think it's also because back then, like they were talking the issues that they were talking about. There was social issues in the music. It was fun, but there was some social messaging, like white lines and things like that. It was really
Huge.
stuff. Yeah, where it's sort of become a little bit the other way around. You know, like it sort of becomes it's quite negative. I feel sometimes in that.
Yeah, it kind of crossed over to like the gangster rap, then the
Yeah.
gangster rap turned it into something else, and then before long it was East Coast against the West Coast, and then by the time the East Coast and the West Coast started all this feuding, I was ready. I'm getting out of it. So I was like, I don't want to be involved in this anymore, because then that's when it started getting dangerous.
Yes, and that's another thing is the danger involved, right? We all know about Run DMC. We all know about all these people that we've lost due to
Yeah,
this sort of thing. Too
all
many,
of them.
right? Yeah,
Yeah.
too many. And the good thing about rock and roll, yeah, you get a bit of argy-bargy at a gig, but no one's fighting you across states because you're in a different rock band, right?
Man, rock bands stick together. They work together.
They do.
perform together. You know,
They do.
It's a whole different realm of music, and that's what made me want to get it literally back involved into it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I think it was a wise choice.
I think it was, man. And I mean, I absolutely cannot wait for the new album to come out. I think it's going to be killer.
Yeah.
And if there's any doubt about the single that, as we talked about before, is so lovely, such
Yeah,
a beautiful single.
My favorite is Daydreaming, a song called Daydreaming.
Mm.
I'm almost positive the PR company will send you a copy of it. That song is like, that's one of my favorites.
Really?
We're waiting to drop that sometime at the end of the month too. That's the second single. But
Right.
Insecurity is killing it, and everybody is waiting for it to die out, but we just waiting for it to drop the next single so we could drop the album after.
Yeah, you got to try to catch the wave. You got to
Yeah.
catch the wave, right? Like you have obviously lots of fans outside of America and around the globe.
Yes. I love that.
Yeah, isn't it wonderful world community, right? Isn't it
Oh, yeah.
fancy being a part of the world community? It's
Yes. I'm talking Germany, New Zealand, Paris, France, Russia.
wow.
People loving it everywhere. I'm surprised. Like I said, I'm grateful. I'm thankful. I love my fans for that. Thank you all for that.
You're going to get people coming in from the rap side, finding you and going, "Wow, I love this." And you're going to get people coming from the rock side, go, "Wow, I love this. I want to hear what you did before." And it's just that lovely crossover, right?
Yeah, most definitely. I'm having fun with it. I've learned that from people's reactions, I'm feeding them what they need. So now I don't have to search for a sound. I have a sound now that just flows, and I just give it to them. I just deliver it.
It's very unique, your sound.
Yeah.
It's
Thank you.
very, very unique because it has a hard rocky edge to it, but it's also got that youthful over, looking over your shoulder at being 16 again kind of feel, right?
Yes. Everybody says that too. I have a couple of, there's a song called What TF Was I Thinking? That's another one. God, very youthful. When you actually listen to it, you'll be surprised. Be like, I can't believe that's the same guy I was just talking to. You get that all the time. Like everybody, when I used to perform back in the day, they'd be like, "Where's the band?" And they see this black guy coming in, and like, what? That's the guy who sing those songs, and just like all the time when I do radio interviews, they don't imagine it's me, especially if they
Really?
go around and know that I did all this rap and stuff and produced all this rap for everybody. They go, no, I don't believe it, until I actually start singing.
Man, it's and that's one of the sad sides of it, man. I think in that respect, that's a little bit of a downer for me when I hear that, because I want people just to go, doesn't matter what, just the music, right?
Yeah. Well, I got past that. It took a while. I got past the fact that it was all image and it became all sound and music then, and now everybody is like, they just love the music now. I don't care what I look like. So
Yeah, man, that's exactly right. Are you planning on touring anytime around? Are you going to tour around the world with this new album?
yes, I'm planning on doing some stuff right now. We're talking about Jimmy Kimmel, some TV, some morning shows, and
Ah,
some news. Yeah, and some state fairs for this year. Yeah, I'm gonna move
brilliant.
around. Yeah, I'm gonna move
Uh,
around a lot more than I did last time.
yeah. Well, again, this is like you said, it's your third album. You really feel very proud and pushing it, and you're loving it, and you're feeling good
Mm.
vibes from it. Why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, I'm having fun. I got
Yeah.
it. And the brilliant thing about my record company and my management team, they wanted to do something different. So each single has a 3D animation video.
Ah, yes, I did see that.
Yeah.
Yes.
They wanted to release, their idea was to release a new single every month with those 3D animation cartoons. But we couldn't get past Insecurity because the fans loved it so much. We couldn't even get to the second single. So like, okay, we gotta wait until it dies out a little bit, then we'll drop the new single. Another cartoon. And then we got another cartoon coming after that. The only time you'll see me do a live video is probably by the fourth or fifth single. And the last one is going to be with Twister.
Brilliant. I love that concept, though. How clever is that?
Because each video, when you see it, 3D animation video has a connection to the next video. It's like a
Oh,
long story. So it's
I love
one.
that.
Each song is like a part 1, 2, 3 series.
I've, there's something wonderful about narration or story through song, and if you can do that with the video, that's even
Oh yeah,
better, right?
well yeah, well, most definitely. We try to be different, and I love them for stepping out of the box, the norm. Basic promotion and CDs and albums. This is the reason why they came up with this concept, and I was like, yes. You don't have to do anything but buy this and plug it into your computer or your car, and you got the whole album. So it's
Amazing.
pretty smart. Very
Oh,
intelligent.
that's you've got to keep. Oh, and that's another thing, but that comes a lot from the rap, doesn't it? They were very advanced rap in the early days and moving forward. They were very forward looking in things
Yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And I think without that genre, we probably wouldn't have a lot of things we do use now, particularly in the studio. Right?
that
As
is
you,
true.
Mm.
I mean, it's a good and a bad because now the music is so saturated with easier ways to make music. Can't appreciate the music no more.
Yeah.
But the good thing about it is there's a lot of talent out there that gets an opportunity to be heard. That's the other thing. But it's too much. It's saturated with so much music that you can't appreciate it.
But don't you?
Because
Yeah. Don't you think you're right there? Because I always think I'm so bloody old. It just makes me feel terrible when I talk about this. I feel like an old man when I say it. But when we were kids, right? Music was
Yeah.
something. Music was something. We had no money, right? I was poor as a church mouse, right? So wherever you got a little pennies, you got to buy a single, and you play it till it went dead, right? And you knew
Yeah.
it. It was something. It was something important and special. And then this whole saturation thing now is the way where musicians are no longer looked up in at all. Like I listen to music because, like you would do the
Yeah.
same, right?
And you're right. You can't because everybody's making music too easy.
Yep.
You know, they sample it. It started with sampling. Now you're buying everything, you know, pretty much already gelled together. You just take a computer and click it and move everything around, and you got a whole song. You
Yeah.
know, most guys who are like going that route can't even produce a record. You put them in the studio to be a producer, to produce a record, they'd be lost. They didn't know what to do, you know.
Yeah.
But it came from the old school where I had to learn how to play every instrument and then, you know, produce a record with the artist, showing them what parts, guitars, bass, drums, even vocals, hook lines and verses and all of that. I had to learn that. And it took me a while to learn that. And you know, and I applied that to all of my own, you know, music now. And, you know, I believe that's the way to go as a producer. You know, learn how to play an instrument. That's what it's all about. Music is music, but learn how to play an instrument. That's what
I
I believe.
agree. I agree. And that's why the albums you've made are so rich,
Yes.
because you know the ins and outs of every nuance of the album, right?
Yes.
Every little piece is, you're not giving it to complete stranger and saying, here, Johnny Nobody, go take my album, make me sound good. You go, I know all the bits here. I know
Oh,
what I want, where it goes, what makes me feel good, what doesn't make me feel good. And that's what makes us as an audience members listening to it enjoy it so much, I think.
on all of my albums, the first two, I played up to 27 instruments, including
Whoa.
my vocal,
Oh,
lead, the background. I doubled and I stacked so many vocals, highs, lows, mids, everything. I played all these instruments, and then once I finished it, I pre-mixed them and then sent them to James. James gets them and go, oh wow, okay, work with, you know, and he works really well with our teamwork makes the song sound good. But
well,
you know,
you know him so well. That's the help, isn't it?
yeah,
It's like because you gel so well. He loves your music. You love what he
yes,
does. It gels together so well. Yeah. So again, this
it's
Prince reference, you remind me of Prince, my friend. Like this Prince reference, you know, he could play everything.
yeah.
And you know, I've always been in awe of that man. And you remind me a lot of him. I don't want to give you a big head, but it reminds me a lot of
Thank
the
you.
way he works and the way he worked and his um ethos on music. You know, where he looked at the way music was. Yeah.
And he looked at music the same way I look at it. I got a Prince story.
Mm,
I went to see his concert and I thought he was amazing as
mm,
always. One time, I only seen him one time. And
yeah.
I think during my day as a rap producer towards me going out, I got a phone call from the powers that be. They called me and said, hey, Prince love your style. And he's looking for somebody to program for him in the studio. And at the time, I was riding high. I was doing a lot of work and getting a lot of stuff done. In fact, I think I was in New York at the time when I got the call. And they asked me, you know, would I be interested in working for Prince? And so I was thrilled. I mean, I was like, oh
Yeah.
my God, working for Prince. And then I said, well, let me think about it, you know, because I had all this work piling up on me and I had to get a lot of stuff done. After 2 days, I thought about it. I was like, you know, he to me was like the hero. He was my hero. And I
Yes.
looked up to him. And I can't work for him because I notice every time you look up to someone, you see things that you are shocked by, you know, and you just go, my whole perception of him is going to change. So I didn't want that to happen. So I was like, nah, I like the fact that he is my hero. I like the fact that I use him for my inspiration. And I'm scared to work for him, that I might find out things and learn things that would totally change my perception of him. So I think I'm going to pass.
Oh, that's big, brave of you, because it's so true. They say don't meet your heroes, don't they? Right?
I like the fact that they reached out to me.
Is it lovely,
him.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's the good part, and I can always remember that. But I never got a chance to meet him in person. But it made me really, really feel good to know that he reached out to me for me to work for him. And,
mate, with someone with that kind of talent reaches out to you, babe, that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming on and chatting. Like, it's been a fantastic chat. I've loved it. I can't wait for the new album to come out.
Oh my God, I can't. At some point, I'll send you a personalized copy.
Thank you.
Let's return. Get information from each other, and I'll send you a personalized copy with my signature on it.
Oh, thanks, man. I'd love that. That'd be wonderful. Thanks, man. Just the energy that you give off in this, to just meeting you for the first time, is just so infectious. I think it's going to be. It comes out in your music, like I said, and I hope that it is as big of an album as the single is at the moment.
I hope so too. I think the fans will love it.
Oh, mate, they'd be mad not to love it.
Oh yeah. Well, and another thing too is I'm giving people what I think they need. This is like therapy music. When you listen to, I'm so grateful that when I saw the TikTok videos that millions of people made using that song, I was astonished.
It's astonishing, isn't it? Blows you away, right?
They use my song for their therapy, and you showcasing their insecurities.
Yeah.
So I felt really proud about that. But
good.
I'm giving the people what I think that they need. It's just food for thought, therapy music.
That's the modern malaise, isn't it? Yes. Insecurity. We live in a world full of cameras and imagery. And I think the modern malaise, I mean, I've got 2 adult daughters, and I know that they would have gone through and probably still do go through these feelings, so it's really good that they can do what they did, like what you said, grab it, tack it to a video, make them feel like we're not alone in this insecurity, right?
That's exactly how I feel. That's the music that I project. I want to be a soundtrack to people's lives.
Yeah, wonderful.
That's my goal.
I think that I'm sorry, I want to quote that. That is a brilliant quote, man. I love that quote. I think that's exactly what musicians should be thinking. I want to be a soundtrack to your life, because music is our soundtrack, isn't it? It's our lives. We can't be without it.
Can't live without it.
If I don't have a pair of these headphones on, I'm usually walking around with something going on in my ears. Like, I have to have something going on
all the time. And if you notice, each song that you grew up with, when you hear it, it was a part of your life. It had something to do with what you were going through.
Yep. Yep.
Like
breakups, first girlfriends, all that kind of stuff. It's just it's because you can universally sit there with 2 people and get the same thing and feel the same way with the sounds, with a record. It's wonderful. Yeah. Because people have their music, don't they? Couples have their song, if you think about it, don't they? And they connect in that particular piece of music.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. For me, that's how it's always been for me. I connect with songs and various times in my life that I forgot about.
You do, don't you? Yeah, because life goes by and you forget about it. And you look at it comes on the radio or something, or you put it on your player and you say, hang on, I was down doing this when I bought this record. I did this when I did it.
Exactly. And that's the direction that I'm going. I'm trying to make my music a soundtrack for everybody's life.
Good, because you'll always be 16 when that's the case.
Yes.
Which is I'm always 16. Yeah, I'm 16 in here. I might be not 16 here, but up here definitely.
Yeah, that's exactly how I feel every day. I wake up and thank the Lord that I'm here and still making music.
Yeah, and he's gifted you with some beautiful talent, my friend. So like you should the world needs to listen to more of it. I just want to say.
Oh, definitely. Thank you. And if you got any like shows or anything you guys want me to come out there to do, I'll be more than happy to. You set it up.
We'd love you out here. That'd be amazing.
Love to come out there and perform.
It's a long way, but it's a well worth the visit.
I don't have no problem with the travel.
I'm sure you don't. You've done a fair bit of it in your time.
Done it before. I will get to you. No
Wonderful.
problem.
Wonderful. Well, again, thanks for coming on. Thanks for chatting. And we'll connect soon. All right.
Okay. Thank you.
It was a pleasure, man. Oh, it was a pleasure, man. It really was. I could talk all day.
I'd like to come back when the album comes out.
Well, yeah, let's do that. Let's get you on when the album comes out. We'll chat about the album itself because I want to talk. We'll talk about track by track. It'll be really cool. Yeah, have a bit of a dive into it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, man.
All right.
Take it easy, man.
Thank you.
It's a pleasure, man. Have a good. Enjoy the rest of your day, man. Peace.
I sure will, man. Thank you for having me.
Pleasure. Bye for now.
Are you a homeowner looking to sell your home fast and want your cash now? How about getting cash for your home twice? Hi, I'm Sarah Reynolds, CEO of Reynolds Empower Home Team with Keller Williams. Our cash offer stands above the rest. With our cash offer, you get the majority of your funds based on your home's value right away. That's right, cash in the bank within days. We will then sell your home for top dollar and you get the rest. Yes, with our cash offer, you get paid not only once, but twice. Call us now at 703-637-SOLD or go to DebbieHasTheBuyers.com.
In honor of Military Appreciation Month, Verizon thought of a lot of different ways we could show our appreciation, like rolling out the red carpet, giving you your own personal marching band, or throwing a bumping shindig. At Verizon, we're doing all that in the form of special military offers. That's why, this month only, we're giving military and veteran families a $200 Verizon gift card and a phone on us with a select trade-in and a new line on select unlimited plans. Think of it as our way of flying a squadron of jets overhead while launching fireworks. Now that's what we call a celebration, because we're proud to serve you. Visit your local Verizon store to learn more. $200 Verizon gift card requires smartphone purchase $799.99 or more with new line on eligible plan. Gift card sent within 8 weeks after receipt of claim. Phone offer requires $799.99 purchase with new smartphone line on Unlimited Ultimate or Postpaid Unlimited Plus. Minimum plan $80 a month with autopay plus taxes and fees for 36 months. Less $800 trade-in or promo credit applied over 36 months. 0% APR. Trade-in must be from Apple, Google, or Samsung. Trade-in and additional terms apply.
Welcome to It Takes Energy, presented by Energy Transfer, where we talk all things oil and natural gas. Oil and gas drive our economy, ensure our country's security, and open pathways to brighter futures. The U.S. produces 13 million barrels of crude oil every day, enough to fill 800 Olympic swimming pools. But what is that oil used for? The gas we put in our cars is just the beginning. Nearly 50% of each barrel is refined into gasoline. Another 34% is refined into fuels like diesel and jet fuel, and the rest is used to make more than 96% of our everyday essentials, like the tennis shoes you wear, the cell phone you rely on, and medicines that help save lives. Look around, and you'll see the essential role oil and gas plays in our modern lives. Our world needs oil and gas, and people rely on us to deliver it. To learn more, visit ittakes.energy.com.